What's up everybody, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this Realme GT Master Explorer edition, Vivo iQOO 7 and Poco F3 GT. Well, I'm already surprised. I'm pretty happy with the performance of Realme GT Master Explorer edition. Dynamic range is already better on this one. Color rendition, skin tone, everything seems correct. Yeah, you check carefully, you listen carefully which smartphone microphone is doing better, which smartphone has rendered my skin tone correctly, which smartphone rendered colors correctly, and then make a comment in the comment section below. One thing, I had to buy these smartphones and none of these brands have ever sent me any smartphones for free. I have never got any review units. I wish that these brands will start sending me review units, and as I had to buy it, I had to spend a lot of money, I had to do a lot of hard work. So if you find this video helpful, if you feel that this video is good enough, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel. Yeah, it's time to start our camera comparison video one more time. If you really find this video helpful, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel.
This bed that I'm in feels too big without you.
Realme GT Master Explorer edition is in the middle and Poco F3 GT is on the right. That means Vivo iQOO 7 is on the left. All these photos were taken in auto mode. AI was enabled and HDR was set to auto. Yes, all of these smartphones have Pro mode, but most of the average users takes photos in auto mode. Okay, I have started with daytime photos cause it was about to rain. iQOO 7 got a 13 megapixel, F3 GT got a 8 megapixel and Realme got a better 16 megapixel sensor underneath ultra-wide lens. Wider FOV, better dynamic range, better color grading, better white balance, more details and well-processed textures. Yes, I am talking about Realme GT Master Explorer, and this is a trend that continues to the main sensor photos. Realme got a 50 megapixel IMX766 with OIS. iQOO 7 got a 48 megapixel Sony IMX598 with OIS. F3 GT got a 64 megapixel OmniVision OV64B without OIS. Truly, there are heavy differences among these three smartphones. But when we compare GT Master Explorer with iQOO 7, it's mostly preferential. And when we compare F3 GT with the other two, differences are based on quality. F3 GT camera performance doesn't belong to the same league of GT Master Explorer, Vivo iQOO 7 and Nord 2. This is the first time I am using Vivo iQOO 7 and truly I am amazed with its camera performance. Vivo iQOO 7 fought neck and neck with this Realme. And in some photos it grabbed more details, but due to poor shadows, contrast and highlights management, Vivo iQOO 7 photos are not as vibrant as Realme. Also, I must mention, color rendition on Realme GT Master Explorer is almost true to life. Talking about colors, outside it started to downpour. Let's check these cropped images. Both Vivo iQOO 7 and Realme GT Master Explorer has done good with focus, exposure and color grading, while Poco F3 GT has this weird color. Highlights and brightness is also way too high. Let's check some more indoor artificial light photos cause most of the mid-range smartphones struggles in this condition. Vivo iQOO 7 and Realme GT Master Explorer edition reproduced similar photos, but Poco F3 GT continued to render colors with awkward tone, super high highlights. Exposure and white balance is also not that correct. I think it was a mistake to add Poco F3 GT in this comparison. I should have added Oppo Reno 6 Pro Plus. Anyway, after checking hundreds of photos side by side, I have noticed a few differences between Vivo iQOO 7 and Realme GT Master Explorer. When it comes to white balance, none of these two smartphones sticks to one color temperature. It jumps back and forth, but most of the time, Realme managed to have better color temperature. Saturation levels are actually different. Yes, there is a noticeable difference, and most of the time, Vivo iQOO 7 has saturated the photos while Realme GT Master Explorer edition has maintained balanced saturation. In terms of details and texture processing, Realme and Vivo has done better with better SoC and better sensor. It was very difficult to find images where we can find noticeable difference. I mean, shadows and dynamic range is more than similar. Sometimes it's identical, but most of the time, Realme GT Master Explorer has managed to reproduce photos with perfect sharpness and better shadows, while Vivo falls behind due to its poor stock camera algorithm.
What I need you to do is
As none of these three smartphones got a telephoto lens, I thought all of these would perform similarly in digital zoom. Yes, when I have tried to take 2x zoom photos, they do perform similarly. As usual, Vivo and Realme does a bit better than Poco F3 GT, but anything beyond 2x, it's not a bit better. The differences are day and night. This photo was grabbed at 5x digital zoom. As both Vivo and Realme have OIS on the main sensor, they have managed to grab more details. With support of better sensor along with better SoC, color grading, exposure, brightness and sharpness, everything is way better than Poco F3 GT. I don't know about you, but I always take photos of my loved ones, my friends, my families. We cannot expect glamours and glitters out of the mid-range smartphones, but truly I'm a bit disappointed with the performance of Poco F3 GT. It totally failed to put up any fight with the other two. In human photography, a lot of things are important, like autofocus, exposure, details, skin tone, color rendition. Moreover, we always check shadows, dynamic range, white balance. Yeah, a lot of things are important, and I'm sure I don't have to talk about the photos on the right. Poco F3 GT photos are oversaturated with warm color temperature and less details. But after checking a lot of photos, yes, I have been checking photos for the last 2 days, and yes, the other two smartphones I have noticed both have the potential to produce flagship class photos. Both Vivo iQOO 7 and Realme grabbed a lot of details, but Realme has better focus metering. Exposure is better on Vivo. Even if both grabbed enough details, Realme processed textures with correct sharpness. Also, Realme has this true to life skin tone and color rendition is amazingly close to reality. Dynamic range is similar, but yeah, better on Realme GT Master Explorer. As none of these smartphones have 50mm lens, portrait photos are taken with the main sensor. To get good quality and better looking portraits, you need to stand a bit close to the subject, and when you try to do that, Realme GT Master Explorer may lose the focus and produce portrait photos with blurry subject. Anyway, edge detection, edge cutouts and separation line blend, everything is similar. But most of the time, Realme GT Master Explorer Edition has better separation between subject and background. Surprisingly, Vivo grabbed more details with sharpness, but colors are obviously not true to life. Skin tone is a bit fair than usual, colors are rendered with increased mid-tone. Yes, Realme GT Master Explorer once again managed to reproduce correct skin tone and color grading is almost perfect. Also, bokeh effect is better than the other two. These video clips were recorded in 1080p 30 frames per second. I have not included the video clip from Poco F3 GT cause that one doesn't have OIS and it would be humiliating for Poco F3 GT. Both of these two smartphones have similar dynamic range and color grading, but Vivo iQOO 7 with warm color temperature, higher ambience and vibrance, Realme GT Master Explorer Edition with a bit saturated colors, better exposure, more details, better contrast. Which one would you select? It's difficult. A lot depends on personal preference. Both have great stabilization, but stabilization on Vivo iQOO 7 is magically better. Just check this carefully.
those green eyes, sweet lips, your hands on my hips, our puzzle pieces.
When I took these photos, I was worried. Can any of these smartphones grab the moment? Yes, Realme GT Master Explorer has done it well. White balance and color rendition is as good as any other flagship smartphones. Yes, I have taken a few photos with Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus and Realme GT Master Explorer's performance is very close to that. Some people may argue that if night mode photos are not bright enough, if it's not visible, then why do we need night mode? But I think there are four factors that defines a good night mode photo. I call it DENS, details, exposure, noise and shadows. If any smartphone can get these four correct in night mode, then I will surely go with that one. All of these three smartphones grabbed enough details. But Vivo and Realme is ahead with a bit more details and better texture processing. Exposure is definitely better on Realme. Also, noise and grains are less visible on Realme. Shadows are actually similar, but as usual, Poco F3 GT performance is not as good as the other two.
What I need you to do is love me.
Okay, it's time for selfie and selfie portraits. As usual, I'm not gonna describe the differences. Well, there is an international smartphone giveaway going on for the subscribers of this channel. What you have to do is to make a comment and let me know which one did better in selfie and selfie portraits.
Your hands on my body. What I need you to do is love me. Words in fantasy. What I need you to do is love me.
I have recorded these video clips in 4K 30 frames per second, and yes, I wanted to check nighttime video performance. Obviously, there is a huge difference in performance. Vivo iQOO 7 depends on EIS and stabilization seems to be pretty poor. Not only jitteriness and jelly effect, exposure, focus metering, details, textures, shadows, nothing is as good as Realme GT Master Explorer. Yes, Realme GT Master Explorer also depends on EIS in 4K, but it seems to be working better. Exposure and texture processing is also way better than any other smartphones in its class. Well, it's time for verdict. Realme GT Master Explorer Edition is clearly far ahead, but Vivo iQOO 7 comes very close. Poco F3 GT doesn't belong to these smartphones in camera performance, and considering the price of this smartphone, that's acceptable. I will wait for your verdict. Please make a comment and let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you have liked this video, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel.